Welcome back to Collider Video's recap of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm Will Link, and we are going to be breaking down Season 3, Episode 9, Closure. Although I will say, I feel like after this episode, I haven't gotten complete closure yet. I feel like the title's a little misleading. I'm dying to find out what happens next. But first, with me, as always...
Oh, hi guys, I'm Arron Fenton.
What? Good job. That was good.
Nailing it right out of the box. Right out of the box.
All your Thanksgivings were filling.
Yes.
There you go.
There you go.
My name is Michael Medina. I'm really sad. Rosalind is, I guess, no more. Whatever. She's great.
Whatever.
Really sad, whatever. Bring in the next one. And I'm Josh Macuga, a.k.a. the Shark Dress Man. I just gave myself that nickname. You guys, we haven't really thought of it.
No, we've never discussed this
And
at all.
I'm right here. I'm ready to talk Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So bring it on.
Well, good.
Will.
I'm glad you're ready because...
I'm ready. But before we get into it, let me pitch my new superhero.
So, as you said, Mike, I'm heartbroken. I'm speechless.
I didn't see
they
that
killed
coming.
my girl.
I did not see that coming.
When she died, I looked over to you and I was like, Will.
Yeah. The only person more upset than me is maybe Coulson. Maybe. But you know, this was a great episode. It was a brutal episode. I think, Josh, when it was over, you turned to me and you said you thought this was the best of the season so far.
This was my favorite of the season, next to the standalone Gemma episode. What I really liked about this was it was getting the whole team involved. A lot of the season built up to this episode where we saw the second team forming. We see Coulson finally showing some emotion, going after Ward, punching a hole in a brick wall or like punching off a brick wall. This was a pretty badass episode all the way around.
I agree. I think this was hands down the most intense episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And like I've said before, I feel like every single week this show just keeps getting stronger, keeps getting better. They've got focus. They're doing things that we're not expecting. Like I said with Rosalind, like I did not see that coming. Those first few minutes, I know a lot of you guys were tweeting us and like, oh, what do you guys think of the first 5 minutes? Like I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, stop tweeting us stuff like that. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Tweet at us.
No, but then when we finally saw it, I was just like, damn, wow, that was a hell of a way to start off the show.
ATCU really got the...
Yeah, Banks gets it later too.
Whew, man, does he
Banks
ever.
is like, I want revenge.
Yeah.
I want to get the guy. That didn't last long.
Yeah,
Banks.
he walks in there and clap, clap, clap. He's like, I'm not done. Banks.
Aaron, your overall thoughts on this episode?
I'm anxious. I don't know. I feel kind of weird about.
It left you wanting more.
It left me wanting more, and I don't know.
But in a good way.
Hence the title, Closure.
Sure, I didn't get any closure.
Correct.
I didn't
It's
get
an
any
ironic
closure.
title.
It's like if a girlfriend said, let's take a break, but you're not officially broken up. That's what this
One
episode
of
is.
the things that really bothered me was when Simmons revealed to everybody that she basically falls in love with every man who saves her life except for Fitz.
Yeah. I guess you have to be really tall, dark, and handsome for Gemma to fall in love with you. But if you're short, Scottish, and not that great looking, there you go.
You don't think he's good looking?
No, I think he's fine looking, but he's not Grant Ward.
Or
Johansson.
Okay, well let's rein this in. Let's get back to this opening scene because it does do a really good job of lulling you into a false sense of security, almost to the point where I was getting nervous. I got lulled in. I'm like, oh, this is great. They're having the romantic burger dinner. And there were these great little jabs where he's giving her crap about working for Hydra, and she's giving him crap about being a Luddite. And then, boom, bullet in the neck.
It's funny you should say that because everything was just so perfect. I'm like, is this a dream sequence?
That's why I said that.
I thought it was a dream
perfect.
sequence too.
That's what I thought. I'm like, wow, this is really cool. We're finally seeing them together. But I'm like, oh, I don't know. Maybe he's.
I thought he was gonna wake up.
And then she got shot. I'm like, okay, it's a dream, right?
Yeah.
It's like, wake up.
Right in.
Exactly.
Well, unfortunately, it was not a dream. Although we kind of speculated a little bit. We knew Constance Zimmer's time on the series was going to be limited.
True.
I didn't necessarily know she would die, and I also thought we'd have her at least through to the mid-season.
I thought there's been so much conjecturing on our show about what Rosalind's ultimate thing was. Was she working for Hydra? Was she a double agent? And really and truly, she was who she said she was.
Yep.
She's Dennis Green in the press conference. We are who they thought they were, right? She was just straightforward, trying to help S.H.I.E.L.D., trying to help the ATCU. She was out for good, and what happens when you're out for good? Bullet to the neck.
I'm really sad that they didn't get to eat these burgers
I was gonna
for
say,
a
who's
second
getting those
time.
burgers?
Because I mean, if you
That's
guys aren't
the
going to
biggest-
finish those,
That's the biggest tragedy of the scene. Those burgers went in. Well, then Ward calls basically to taunt Coulson.
Yeah.
And, this episode dealt a lot with emotional Ward. Like, the idea... Ward actually does love, but he doesn't know what to do with that in a way.
Yeah.
Like, he thinks he loves his younger brother, but he'll throw him down a well. Like,
It's very extremes. Like when
Yeah.
I love my brother, but when we were 10, I hit him in the back of the head with a golf ball. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't.
But you didn't throw him down a well. though.
Exactly. I didn't throw him down a well.
Well, Ward's very delusional, I think, about what love is in a weird way. Although I've argued, and I think we've argued a little bit about his love of Agent 33.
Yeah, and he brought that up today. He's like, I really loved her. And I'm like, no, you didn't.
See, I still think
I
he
don't
did
think he
in his
did.
way.
Yeah.
I think he did.
Me too.
All right. Well, apparently he did. The writers think he did too. So,
But
just
he,
know.
Fenton, you're out.
even when he's talking to Fitz and Simmons later in the episode, and he's like, well, I can't hurt you. I feel like that's real in a way.
I bought that.
Like he doesn't want to actually. He cares for Fitz and Simmons in a weird way because they're almost like kids in his mind, and he can't physically hurt them. But then he can walk out of the room and let
But he has
someone
no
else
problem.
do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he already hurt them. He like left him for dead. He like
But it's like out of sight, out of mind for him.
Exactly.
I'm getting to the Ward psychology.
Like
here.
he wouldn't like manually like pull a trigger and try to like kill one of them or hurt one of them. You know.
Right.
but he did. Like he definitely did. He pushed the button and then they dropped out of the fucking sky and then crashed
Yeah,
into
but
the
he
ocean.
didn't actually have to see them die.
Yeah. He didn't actually have to touch
Remember,
them.
he didn't push his brother down a well and
Yeah.
thought he was like, "Oh, I'm never gonna let anyone hurt you again" or whatever, you know. So I don't know.
Okay, all right.
I mean, Ward is. I think this was the most psychologically complex profile we've gotten of Ward
Yeah,
to date, and I really liked it because this was his episode.
Yep.
agreed, and that's why I love Ward so much, and why I just love that progression from being, like I said before, I thought he was such a boring character in season 1, and like
Truth.
he's an amazing villain.
He's great.
Yeah.
But Coulson also has his most emotional episode probably to date.
Man, he is tearing through everybody in S.H.I.E.L.D. Get everybody to the interrogation room now.
I love this side of Coulson.
Yeah.
You know, you think back to like the old school, like the Marvel films when we first saw him, and he was always funny. He's kind of like comic relief, and we see him now like he's just like,
Yeah.
you know, a man on a mission. He's
And he's
committed.
always made the right decision for the most part. Like he's thought it through. He's been like, don't do that to that. Now he's blinded by love rage.
Again, this is a theme of the season we've discussed before. People blinded by their mission with this, having the sense of vengeance and getting blinded by what they're supposed to do. Also, though, loved, you said how he's tearing through everyone at S.H.I.E.L.D. I loved how he actually physically teared through all those guys Ward sent, which I thought was another badass action scene. And
His Captain America move, like jumping out of the plane and falling into the, was awesome.
You got to have some good aim.
Yeah.
and when you're willing to just leap out of a plane, then you really are maybe too blinded by vengeance, though, in all honesty, because you're not really thinking.
It's a lot like Hunter when he was just trying to go after Ward, and just like how he basically reprimanded Hunter for doing what he's doing right now, pretty much.
Another just little thing that I liked, he calls for an extraction team. Mack shows up. Mack is the extraction team. That's all we
just
need.
Mack. Yeah.
Mack comes to the rescue.
Yeah.
I'm loving Mack this season.
Dude, he had his best episode tonight.
Yeah.
He was a
I agree.
badass
Yeah?
tonight.
You think
Yes,
so?
absolutely. It's. I mean, since the episode where he basically
Yeah.
single-handedly ripped Fitz out of the thing.
When's his axe gun coming into play?
Yeah, we need to see that axe gun.
I'd like to see it, but I'm not gonna hold my breath.
I mean, the Secret Warriors are finally assembling. They've assembled the beginnings of it, so I'm excited
guns,
about it.
guys.
So maybe his axe gun is next.
Well, maybe. Now that he's interim director of S.H.I.E.L.D.,
Yeah.
he could have anything put together. He wants to get me an axe gun. But yes.
He's waiting till management ups him to full-time director after Coulson gets left on the Ghost Planet.
Well, Coulson, like you said, he brings in everybody from his team to get to the bottom of. He's trying to, I guess, find out some psychological edge on Ward, which is what I think eventually brings the talk I think Daisy has about the way Ward feels about people and stuff like that is probably what brings him to the idea of using the brother for leverage.
Yeah.
Well, because now we were fighting a battle on two fronts. Now that one front is pretty much done, we are fighting Hydra again.
Yeah.
all in.
Yeah, which I like.
Me too.
Yeah.
And then this new creature that's going to come back,
Oh yeah.
which
Is Bark Dress Man, Shark Dress Man's brother. He's a tree guy. He's got bark all over him. Come on, guys.
it actually it could be anything, but it could be the Unspoken. You might know him. He was like
He hangs out at Chipotle over here at the Burbank Mall. Yep.
he was like once the king of the Inhumans, and that kind of like keeps in like links with like all the Inhumans.
That'd be kind of cool.
He can pretty much do anything. He just has. He's a
I
really
hate
evil
superheroes
guy.
that can do
and-
anything. They're like, whatever he wants to do, he
the
can do.
Terrigen Mist, like he's basically the like that was his special power, so he can like do anything he wants. So he could.
So he
like,
steals powers from other superheroes?
He doesn't. I don't think he steals powers. He just can. He like can create and do anything he wants.
It just seems like such a cop-out.
I mean, like I'm sure. I don't know what they're gonna
But
do
that
with it,
would
but
be-
like it could be like he could inhabit a body. He could inhabit like
Well,
Will.
He
or,
could inhabit Simmons and make her more interesting?
Well, I
or-
think we're going to get to some body inhabiting things a little later. I
Right.
think maybe, but yeah.
But then my second idea, which is probably, I would like this,
Here we
but
go.
probably least likely, would be Despair, which is a demon who like installs fear into human beings and draws upon like the psychic powers of.
Oh,
like,
so Rosie
yeah.
O'Donnell.
And oh my god.
But that does kind of fit in line to some of the stuff that was happening on the planet.
Yeah, and
to
I
be
feel like
fair.
he fits
Yeah.
the planet more.
Like a Dementor. It's a Dementor. We've said it.
And
Wait,
you know that
yeah.
picture? You know that picture that I showed you? Like he was basically cloaked in shadow, and he kind of looks
Raggedy
like what we
clothes.
saw on the show already, which is the wraithy-looking shadow creature.
Right.
So I feel like it could be Despair, but you know, maybe it's the Unspoken because the Unspoken can do anything, and I think I think Despair is. I don't know. Like
Now superheroes are just getting adverbs.
Yeah. Well, look, we got to still. This is what Hydra's doing. They're trying to find a way back to this planet. We found that out at the end of the previous episode. But Coulson, he's still on the warpath here.
Yep.
He is. I love the other moment when he's going through with his team and he grabs Hunter, and he is pissed at Hunter, and I thought a little unjustly.
yeah,
You know.
yeah.
But then he realizes
Yeah.
that, hey, I probably screwed up in the first place.
And really and
We're not on
truly,
the team.
Hunter took the moment because he didn't want to do it because of Will or because of Andrew
yeah.
and May. And all of a sudden, he doesn't take his chance and he just hits him in the shoulder. Had he not thought, he would have gotten Ward.
To be fair, he is the only one who actually took a shot
Correct.
at Ward.
Yeah.
And I argue that if Coulson had been in that situation, he would have hesitated too because
Correct.
of Andrew.
Yep.
Because Coulson cares about the people on his team. And at that time, he wasn't blinded by vengeance in the same way.
Yes.
Yeah.
And again, blinded by vengeance. But that's the exact reason why he puts Mack in charge. Because Mack is the only one without like a real personal beef against Ward. He even says that to him. How do we think Mack did as interim so far? Filling in for Coulson.
I liked him. I've said this before, how I was just unimpressed with this character last season.
He's
so
just
coming
there.
into exactly. So I think coming into this season, they're taking time to develop him more, and I'm liking him more. Like I agree with you. I like what I saw coming out of Mack in this episode.
I was a little surprised he was as hesitant as he was to make some calls, though. I think he was, Mack, I don't think is a guy who wants the responsibility of the world on his shoulders, kind of thing.
He's
So-
always just kind of been like almost go with the flow, but he wants to keep the peace at the same time.
Yeah.
And, I would have liked to have seen him take more charge, but again, he's kind of thrown into this position. So
But he does end up getting Lincoln and Joey was the guy's name, right?
yeah,
The
I
guy's
like a
name.
little
Joey,
speech he
Joey.
gives them.
He ends
Motivate
up
the team.
Yeah.
He ends up trying to bring them in part of the team, even though he was looking at the file and Andrew was like, Lincoln, I don't know about Lincoln.
Yeah.
I don't know about Lincoln.
You're a Lincoln hater.
I am a
It's
Lincoln
all right.
Yeah.
You lost your Rosalind tonight. Go off on a Lincoln tangent if
Exactly.
you want to. It's
I have-
fine.
I have nothing-
We let Fenton go off on her adverb superheroes. Despair.
There's nothing to say about
Cloak Man.
there's nothing to say about Lincoln tonight, other than that I think though I don't think it was Lash writing that report on Lincoln. I think it was Andrew, and I think there is something about Lincoln that is going to cause a problem. He is hot-headed.
I will say when we were on the plane, right, and he's
Okay.
making the speech to everybody, right, Lincoln has this look on his face that's just like, whatever.
Dude,
I'm
I thought
doing what I
he always does it. He always makes that face
I'm
like,
Lincoln. Yeah.
you know, like
Is that your best Lincoln
that's
face?
my
Yeah.
best Lincoln.
He seems like a nice guy. Yeah.
There you go. I like this. Anything we could.
Anything to hate on
Lincoln
Lincoln.
become like
The
most-
coolest dude. Yeah, like he
Exactly.
goes in there and just starts laying out Hydra dudes, and Will's still like, nope, not gonna happen.
I'm out.
And then Fenton comes in. Now what if, guys?
But so Coulson gets Hunter and Bobby, and they go on this mission to. And I thought it was a nice reveal that they were getting Ward's little brother. And then I thought it was a nicer reveal that the little brother's just like, yeah, if you're gonna shoot, just make sure you kill him. Basically,
Yeah,
It's like, make sure he's done if you go after him. Although I didn't necessarily think it was the best move to let the little brother go.
I thought that was a little strange
Yeah.
too, because we don't really know the little
Just
brother.
look out. There'll be
that
some
well.
guys coming around your place that are gonna be looking out for you. He's like, all right, well,
But
I'll
I
go back to my back of the office
What are they
job,
gonna do?
dude.
Bring him
What
into
was
battle?
he doing? He was
he's like a jeweler.
yeah.
He's a jeweler.
He went to Jared.
But there's this great moment that Bobby has with him where he goes, oh, please don't kill me. And then she's like, nobody wants that. But it was very much like, well, look, we might, but nobody wants
Yeah.
that. And I love that because I mean, that would have been Coulson going real dark, but it was one of the first times that I feel like if he had killed him, if he had hurt Ward's brother, I would have totally bought it because Clark Gregor, he was doing such a good job in this episode of really selling that inner rage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I could have seen him maybe like even accidentally like shooting his brother in the arm or something like that. I couldn't see Hunter or Bobby doing anything like that, but I could have seen Coulson doing it.
Yeah. At where he
Bobby's
was at.
very passive aggressive this season.
Well, she's still a little. I think she's still a little gun shy.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
you know what I really wanted to see? Like Coulson, like he when he was fighting with all the guys, I really wanted his robot hand to like
Rocket punch.
like skulls through, because later on he punches a brick wall
Yeah.
in like front, like next to Hunter's head.
I was waiting for that too.
I was waiting for laser fingers to
We
pop
all
up.
yelled
I was
out like, use the iron fist. Just start whack-a-moling guys.
and he just doesn't, and like he overpowers. I don't know if you all saw that, but he overpowered a guy with his good hand, but not his power
Yeah.
fist.
Well, even with
is weird to me.
Hunter,
His power
then
glove.
he grabbed Hunter by the neck with his.
With his good hand, and then
Yeah.
with his power fist, he broke the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, while all this is going on, and I agree, they should have utilized the hand. While this is going on, we have this other mission going on simultaneously where Fitz and Simmons are tracking down basically the part of the mission, the Pathfinder mission.
Right. Control
and
space or whatever.
and they show up, and it's a trap.
Magneto.
And- yeah, Asian Magneto.
Galliero. I
Yeah,
think.
his name is Mr. Galliera.
Galliera.
And
Giara. I don't know.
Or Gira.
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 I have no idea how you pronounce it.
Giera.
We looked it up. I don't think we've heard them
Gira.
say it.
No.
No.
And you just saw. I think we just saw like a photo with his name on it, like in a
Okay.
file in
Yeah.
a previous episode.
But this was the other great thing when he brings in Fitz and Simmons. Like you'd think, oh, what are they going to do? But Ward's right there to question them.
Yep.
And I thought these moments were really good because one, it was all the whole thing with Simmons about, I'm not going to hurt you. Like, I'll let this guy do it.
Yeah.
And then the conversation with Fitz I loved because he was giving Fitz, he was really needling him about their relationship. Like, oh, you blew it. You missed your chance. That torch you were carrying.
That line when
forward.
he's like, "Oh, you know, you held that torch, whatever. It was kind of like a sick puppy or whatever, like that."
yeah.
Like,
Oh,
just
you're
really,
cute,
like,
but not in like a
he said
like
something
not
like
in a-
that. Just
it's
really
just a you're
emasculating him a
cartoon
lot.
cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not in a Joe handsome astronaut way.
Wait.
Not
Not
in
at
a,
all.
Not in
in
a way like the guy that gets the girl way, but as in a cute dog. With
As
his
in,
heart
like, I
pumping
can't
out.
wait for you to pick up my car at the body shop while I'm out with Will, handsome Joe astronaut.
But Fitz is willing to. He can't stand listening to Simmons being hurt. You have issue with this.
Yeah. What did they do to Simmons? What were they doing that made
were
her like
tickling her.
scream? Like listen, yeah.
Tickle
'cause
fight.
You know how
Tickle.
like that guy, he shot everybody and he's like, it's not me.
Mr. Galliera.
I thought that they were
Oh.
making her scream for no reason. You know, like how.
Well, when they cut to her, she had like some bruises on her eyeball, and
Yeah.
she was like sort
You
of
have to
bleeding.
just assume they were just doing random.
But they were,
like-
like he was probably just like needling her in places that
Yeah.
you know.
But I guess
he wasn't punching her.
I guess like he can't do that. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's like the reason why he was still holding it is because probably he was just trying to like hold back on it and he wasn't squeezing the trigger.
Yeah.
And that's all he had powers over. All right, well, that's why. But what were they doing to her?
Well, I mean,
She
look,
only had like one little like scratch on her face.
here's the thing. I think Fitz, even the threat of violence to Simmons is going to be enough to get him to agree that he's going to go through that portal so he can help them get back. Because that's the issue. That's why they need Fitz and Simmons to get back. And Fitz says basically...
This guy will do anything to get out of the friend zone.
Well,
Anything.
It's
he
not
literally
working.
It's
basically
not
says
working.
he's too weak to live in a world without her.
Oh, it's so romantic.
And
That is the worst thing I've ever heard.
So romantic.
I didn't even catch that. Thank you for saying that again.
Well,
that
Simmons-
is the worst thing I've ever heard.
Simmons says, "Let them kill me." And honestly, she's right. I mean, the move, if you're an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., should be, well, you're
Take the
going to have to
bullet.
kill us.
Take the bullet.
I mean, that's the right move. But Fitz,
But he's a hero. Fitz is a hero.
I would argue sacrificing your life to stop Hydra would also make you
Yes.
a hero.
Yeah.
But he's so, and I mean,
we
he's-
can go back to this planet and get Cloakman, who may or may not be the greatest villain that Hydra's ever been thinking. I'm not going to take a bullet. I'm going to tell you where because I really like this girl who really doesn't like me that much because I've been stuck in this friend zone. But it's going to keep. Come on,
Pretty much nailed it.
come on.
I mean, yeah, that's
Come on.
pretty much.
He's the best guy on that whole damn team.
The best guy. He's the best guy that could also maybe be a busboy at a local restaurant. They're like, oh, would you want to come help Hydra? He's like,
He's got the
"Whoa."
golden heart.
Oh, look, okay, I'll say
Everybody, like, he has pure, like,
he
good
does.
motives.
He is pure of heart,
He is. He's
and
a
he
hero.
is.
Whatever
I mean,
got
he is-
anybody pure of heart anything in a show like this or in a movie like this.
Well, it's going to get him killed, probably.
Correct.
He's brave.
And he could have
is
died
brave.
way earlier instead of going into the portal.
He is. Well, no, I mean, I can't argue with that. I can't argue with that logic. Another line I like, just as a throwaway, when Ward comes in and sees
What?
Simmons.
Go ahead. Say what you want to
No,
say.
I'm like so upset at Simmons when he says that romantic line to her and he goes, I can't imagine a world without you. I can't live in a world without you in it, whatever. And she just goes,
So why don't they both do a
oh,
murder?
and then she just doesn't say anything, just like rests her head because she can't say anything. And like,
Exactly.
Well, she.
Well, I thought
can't
she
remember-
said something like, "Don't do this to me," or "Why do you keep doing this to me," or something like
No,
that.
I
And
don't
then
think. I don't think it was
No, I
that.
don't
I don't
think
think it was
so.
that negative.
No, not
But
in
it
a
just
negative way, but I
bothers
think
me.
like
Yeah.
it hurt her. It's like, oh, you keep saying all these sweet things to me, and I don't love you.
Well, yeah, it's like I love you, and she's like, "Thank you." You know what I
Well, let
mean?
me ask you
Thank
this then about the
you.
relationship. Do you? I'll start with you with this question
Okay.
because you're the one who loves them the most.
I do.
Do you think
Yeah.
that she was at the end of last season legitimately willing to give it a shot with him?
No.
Okay.
No. I think she was confused. She had a lot of emotions thrown at her by a guy that was there. And I think when she was going to give it a chance was before she went into the portal onto the other world and met Will. She just doesn't love him. She never did. She
We all
only
know
ever saw him
girls
as
in
a-
this situation like the bad guy, and she is like the bad guy since this show started. Then Fitz comes along, and she's like finally getting around to like him. She's a couple more bad guys away to getting with Fitz.
But do you think when she was on the planet initially that you don't think that love was there?
No,
No,
I
it was
think she was in
nostalgia.
love with him with a it was nostalgic. He was her only link of hope to reach the other side before she lost it. And then Will became her thing when she found out there was other men on the planet.
When she got to
That's
an
all it
underground
takes.
cave, and she was like, "G.O.B." And it was like cartoon.
Literally, Fitz, if you were the last man on the planet, I don't think she would.
But you like ship these two.
I love them.
It's not like she got there and it was Dom DeLuise. It was
Listen,
Handsome
I'm
Joe
getting-
Astronaut.
I'm more frustrated with her now in this season than ever before because it's just so obvious to me now that they're never gonna be together. And the thing is, she's gonna die. She's gonna be the one that dies, and she's gonna go, Fitz, I love you,
But
and then she's gonna
Her
die,
dying
and I'm like,
breath.
you. bitch. Oh
She's
my
the worst.
God, you're gonna like let that be his.
Yep.
his thing.
Yeah.
Like you can love him because it's easy to say because you're
dying.
You're dying.
A little throwaway line that Ward said to her that I liked was when he says she had the Furiosa vibe, which means that in all this, Ward has had time to go to the movies, which is great.
Well, Mad Max was a fantastic film.
Yeah, it
One of the
was.
best of 2015.
Well,
So
you know,
I'm
he
glad
was
made the time.
he was on the lam for a while, and he was probably like, well, I got nothing else to do. I gotta go to the movie.
Had it in a movie theater. But Ward, the other big thing with Ward in this episode is Malik says, I want you to lead the men into the portal. And Ward's like, no.
Hey, bro.
Because, I smell a rat here.
Yeah.
But then Malik gives him this speech. No, I want you to lead. I want you to... And Ward is really the only guy who can accomplish this in a way for Malik. So do you buy the Malik speech, or do you think it was a trap to get another one of his competitors out of the way?
That's a real tough call, but I kind of sort of. I think there's something for him on both ends of this, because maybe it will get rid of Ward. Maybe he's expecting Ward to bring back whoever this is from the planet, but in the process, maybe Ward will get killed too.
Kill two birds with one stone.
Done.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like whoever they're expecting to bring back, I think Ward is the man for the job, and I think he was like totally like being truthful about that. But I think his reason for it was, I think that this guy, whoever they're trying to bring back, inhabits people's bodies, and I think he needs a host body to live on their planet, and Ward is going to be the perfect specimen.
It's a good point. And Malik could know that.
Yeah, and
that's
he's
why
like,
he
I'm
sent
not
him,
a
'cause-
warrior. I don't want to do it. I
That's
just want to
true.
worship the guy.
That's true.
And you got to be our leader, your leader quality. Yeah, I think that's what.
Little prediction here
Yeah.
from Agent Fenton.
Nice.
Approval from Shark Dressed Man.
One other thing, I think, before we move on to some Twitter questions that we should discuss, though, is that Coulson also goes. So you brought up his jumping out of an airplane. This crazy dive.
Whenever somebody does that, do you guys remember? I forget which Bond it was, but it was a Pierce Brosnan Bond when he does the angel jump out of the plane. That's what I imagined. Like you. First of all, you got to have some pretty good aim to jump that and like kind of go out. I know I just referenced the Pierce Brosnan Bond. I'm very, very sorry about that. But that is a hell of a jump right there. And then we're watching it. Me and Will catch it, and you guys are like, what happened to Coulson? I'm like, he fell in the pit.
Yeah,
so
you
quick,
guys
I
didn't
missed
see.
it.
I missed it. I didn't see it. It was so fast.
Yeah.
We had to rewind it.
Well, he was going, but when you fall from that height, you're going to be going pretty damn
Rocket.
fast.
Yeah.
And he goes
Like a
right in,
rocket.
right before they have a chance to close it up. So Coulson lands in there. We got Ward, we got Fitz, we got a whole bunch of Hydra, we got Joe Handsome Astronaut, now we got Coulson. And Coulson, though, when he lands in it, I guess because he's coming in so
It's
fast,
coming in hot.
he hits his head on a rock.
Yeah.
Will's gonna find him.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Another good prediction.
Yeah, Will's
prediction
gonna
from
find
Agent
him
Fenton.
Make
Are you
Coulson will fall in
real?
love.
And he's gonna.
Oh.
Coulson falls in love.
Everybody falls in love with handsome Joe
The
Asher.
power of that planet is everybody just falls for Will.
Pretty much.
And then
Yeah.
Will comes out and he's the guy.
It's like a
He's
Kiss
the bad guy.
concert.
Well,
Everybody goes there thinking,
Well, you know what? I think a lot of our questions tonight are about kind of what we think is going to happen next and about that planet. So we might as well get to these questions. Remember, you can tweet at us using the hashtag ColliderAOS. So let's take a look. What do we got here? This is from Chris Skalacki.
Skuleski.
Skalicki. Skalicki.
I apologize, Chris.
What's up, Chris?
Hey, Chris.
Do you think the inhuman force on the planet could somehow merge with Ward, giving him powers, making him a more powerful villain? We kind of just were talking about
Yeah,
that.
definitely. But I don't think it would be Ward anymore. I think Ward would, if anything merges with him, I think Ward's out, and then it's just him.
No,
right?
no.
You don't think
No,
so?
I think
It'd be
it's
the
the
other
flip.
way around.
Yeah.
I think
You
it'd be
think-
a worse version of
Yeah.
Ward.
But you don't think that it's just going to be some more powerful Taskmaster type creature like inside of his body, and it's not really Ward anymore? It's just
No, I
this
think
powerful
in order
being?
to make this work, I think that it has to be Ward with a thing inside of his body. So
Okay.
it's like he definitely has a power, but he's able to harness it and
like a
use it.
symbiote.
Correct.
I think
Like-
Ward has become such a good villain that I don't want to
Venom.
lose.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
You know, and I'm thinking if, in fact, let's say Malik sent Ward to this planet to merge with whoever this is in hopes that he can get rid of Ward, it'd be kind of cool if it backfired on Malik. Well, Ward comes back more, powerful than ever. Maybe he ends up killing Malik.
Yeah. Ooh.
So do we think that the mid-season finale is going to be like Ward, all-powerful Ward, like laying waste to people?
Well,
No, I think they're
look,
going to be stuck on the planet still.
maybe,
so.
but the interviews with Chloe Bennett and the actor who plays Lincoln that you do not like.
Well,
Blair-
maybe the actor's a fine
Lincoln.
man.
I thought
but-
you meant Andrew.
Luke Mitchell. So
Mitchell.
Luke Mitchell, and then somebody else, another
Is it
interview
Elsie?
I read, they all said the same thing, that the finale that we're going to watch is going to really upset the fans, some hardcore fans. Like they said the whole thing is coming together, everything links. This is going to be really shocking.
See what you did there?
Yeah, it's really shocking, and no one expects it. And all the actors said people are gonna really hate this. I think.
Oh, well, that's great
That's
when
exactly
you say
what
like
you wanna hear.
everyone's
Well,
gonna hate
then.
our show after this episode.
Well.
I
So,
mean,
but that means
I don't
death, right? That means somebody's. I mean, someone died in the
Okay.
mid-season finale last year, right? So, are they gonna kill somebody? Is that
No,
what we're
that's
gonna
what they
hate?
said. I think someone said it's blowing last year's away. Like they said
Well,
it's topping.
get your popcorn
it's
ready
not
there,
gonna be
Will.
anywhere
They'll-
near it. That's
They'll-
the interviews. That's what they said.
They'll kill 2 people this
Oh.
time. Well, I mean, because last year they killed
Anyways.
Tripp in the
Fitz and
mid-season.
Simmons in a loving embrace.
Oh, well, I'll tell you what. That's something that might upset people if you kill one of Fitz or Simmons. And can Fitz and Simmons
No,
exist?
Simmons lives, Fitz dies, Handsome Joe Astronaut comes back with Fitz's head. No, I'm kidding.
All right, well, let's see the next question here. This is from Danny Hernandez. Would it be smart to say Coulson will be left behind on the blue planet in the mid-season finale?
I'd like to consider it more of a lavender planet before we go on, but that's me. Go ahead.
No, I know we'd brought up just earlier talking about the possibility of him or Will finding him. Like, I totally see that. Mid-season finale, I definitely think Coulson will be on the planet and probably running into Will.
I hope that no one gets left behind on the planet. I'm done. I'm done with the planet. Bring it back here. Like, I don't want to keep finding ways to go back onto the planet to
I
save
like the
somebody.
planet.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing.
Okay, cute. All right.
If somebody... I would rather somebody die on the planet than get stranded on the planet
Yeah.
because I don't want to see another. We got to open up another portal,
That's exactly what I
because
said,
that
yeah.
would get redundant.
I think
Yes.
what'll happen though is I think, like you said, in the mid-season finale, I don't think they're gonna be. I think everyone's still going to be on the planet. I think, so, but I think Coulson's gonna take some time before he finds Ward and all that. So I think he's gonna maybe
Listen.
go on a little bit of an adventure with Will.
I'd like to see. I mean, I think that they set this up decently because Coulson told Mack, he was like, "You're the new director. You're the interim
Yeah.
director." So
He's not coming back anytime soon.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, that's true. That
That
could
is
be
true.
Yeah.
what leads us down that direction.
and
That
he's left behind.
maybe he does get left behind. How do
And
you
then
get him?
no
he
man
comes back
behind.
with the Inhumans in the new Inhumans movie. He steps out of like the
there it
ship, and now he's there. He's
Well, the
back home.
Inhumans movie isn't for like 2019 though. So
Yeah, he's
They're getting
booked
they're
on
getting a
that.
nice head start.
Yeah,
on it.
he's really getting into character.
Planet Hulk, like lands on that planet, and then he just goes back with Hulk.
Stop it with your planets.
so
That's the planet he likes.
Oh, okay.
okay. I maybe Coulson does stay there longer, but you know this season has been moving so quickly. I wouldn't be shocked.
I
if
like how
they-
quick it moves, too.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if they wrap up a lot of what's going on this planet in the next episode, though, because the way the pace has been so far. Well, I mean, we'll find out next week, I guess. So let's see. We got one more question here. This is from Will Fern Finesca.
Good work, Will.
Thank you. My theory is that they will find Will, and he will betray them and leave Fitz behind on that planet. Thoughts? A lot of Wills thrown in there. He's a Will. I'm a Will. There's a Will.
Handsome Joe
confusing.
Astronaut.
Yeah. What are you thinking?
Well, if he does that, I think it's hysterical because Will's making the power play for Simmons,
Yeah.
which is awesome. And also keeping now, not only is Fitz in the friend zone, he's in the friend zone planet. Like he's
Yeah.
stuck in the worst friend zone ever. But no, I don't think that they'll betray him. I think that will end up getting killed.
Okay. If Will does betray him, this is how I'd like it to happen. So Will and Fitz are alone, and Fitz is hurt, and like Will's gonna kill him. And just as he's like, stabbing him with something sharp, he like tells Will that he's actually the evil person, or that like Gemma's next. And then he can't do anything; he just dies with that fear of
okay.
knowing that there's no hope for Simmons.
Oh, so you want it, if it's dead, you want it dark.
Well, listen, his whole story the whole time has been tragically sad and like lovesick. If he's gonna die that way, like left behind, he needs to be left behind dead on the planet and then feel really like anxious and sad that
Okay.
Yeah, my feeling is I think it's going to end up being pretty dull with Will. I think with everything already going on the planet, with everyone that's on the planet, I think because we have Ward, we have all
going
these
a
other
little too
guys.
much.
I think, yeah, exactly. I think now it's like, all right, Will might end up being a nice guy after all, and maybe end up sacrificing. Tell Gemma
I love her. Oh no!
You know
is
what
that
I mean?
what's
Like
gonna
something
happen?
like that. I
Fitz would be
could
like,
totally.
he was really like,
Sure,
he thought you
buddy.
were great. Did you happen to leave a pot holder on the planet? Because
No, you know what? No, Fitz would give the exact message.
would.
He's the kind of
Yeah.
person who would give the exact
That's
message.
why he's stuck in the
Yeah.
friend zone, fellas.
Yep.
If you're out there stuck in the friend zone,
That's why.
yep.
Was there, I mean, you know all this stuff. Was there a Planet Friend Zone? Was there something deep? Was there 3 issues in the 70s about Planet Friend Zone that maybe we, and then it all comes
Cloakman
together?
ran Planet Friend Zone.
So, well, look, I'm wondering if you're right in that Will is kind of going to end up being even more of a red herring than.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe.
He could end up saving everybody because that was his job. He's like, my job was to save everybody, and he could end up like
Here comes Will Link.
sacrificing himself.
Will sacrifices himself. He helps them get off the planet. And
Redeems
he
himself.
Although
'Cause-
I don't know what he's redeeming
'cause if
himself
he
for.
goes
with his other
back
people,
to-
with his other people that killed themselves.
Okay, yeah, maybe.
His other.
Because if he goes back to Earth, it's like Brooks in Shawshank Redemption, right? It's like he can't be assimilated
Yeah.
back in a normal
Gonna be
culture.
sleeping out in the desert somewhere.
Right.
Simmons should
Okay.
understand.
Yeah.
Is
Well,
what he yells.
As we wrap this up, I just want to say one more thing. Do we think someone is dying, like a major character
Yes.
is going to
Yeah.
die next week? Any thoughts on who you think it might be?
No,
Okay, fair enough.
I just feel
No.
like someone's gonna die.
I'm going to say no. I'm going to say they're going to go. I'm going to hope that they're going to be creative enough to not have to rely on killing someone for the sake of just blowing our minds.
want it to
I'm
be
gonna,
bigger.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to say no one's going to die, but something is going to happen. Something that we're not expecting.
No major character's going to die.
No.
But some,
Well, they
some
just
other
killed
characters.
Rosalind in this episode. None of us saw that happening.
Yeah.
No,
I
we
want
didn't.
it like if it's gonna make us
okay,
mad,
Will.
like make it big, like
Okay.
make it like a big
well,
reveal.
I don't know.
Of a
You're
comic
just
book
saying
character
it's
or
going to
something.
piss people off.
It could be, and it could be the
So-
reveal of what's coming back. Like, who
But
knows?
would that piss people? I feel like the thing that pisses people off is killing off a beloved character. That's what pisses people off.
I want it to
And
be
you're
bigger.
saying Chloe Bennett says this mid-season finale is going to piss us all off. So I guess that means next week we'll be here complaining about the
Who knows?
mid-season
Maybe
finale.
Fitz joins Hydra. I don't know.
yeah. You never know. Okay, so yeah. that's-
Before we go out, I'd like to give you 20 seconds to maybe just say something to Rosalind right into your camera and be like, Roz, it was a hell of a run.
Rosalind, I mean, it was beautiful. It wasn't just a hell of a run. It was beautiful while it lasted. Someone like you shine too brightly for this world anyway. So I understand. And see you in the next life.
Thank you,
Well
Will Link.
said.
Thank you.
So on those sweet words, Josh, why don't you take it away?
Yeah, you guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Josh Macuga. Thank you to everybody that donated to my Movember campaign. We reached our team goal, and I no longer have a mustache, so it's amazing. And you can see me here on Collider on the Arrow recap show, as well as The Walking Dead.
Guys, you can catch me on Twitter at Mr. Michael Alexis, also on Instagram at Mr. Michael Alexis 14. That's Mr. Michael Alexis 14, as well as with the hairless wonder over here over on the Collider Arrow recap show.
Hi guys, you can find me on Twitter at Agent Fenton, and to Coulson's left hand on Twitter. Sorry, I do not own any pink hair, but I did have pink hair for a while.
You should get
I just
some.
don't have a
I
wig
agree.
in pink.
Mid-season finale.
Well, maybe, yeah, for the
Next
mid-season
time.
finale, you could surprise us all with
Well,
getting some.
listen,
getting a pink
I'll
one.
surprise y'all with something big and it's ridiculous.
You can follow me on Twitter at
There it is.
The
There it
Real
is.
Will Link. And, there you can find out everything about me, my podcast, all this wonderful stuff. So follow me. And until then, we are going to see you next week for the mid-season finale. I can't wait. This is going to be really exciting. Thanks for watching.